That gospel reading is a pretty powerful one of, in one sense, in a very real sense, the necessity of preaching. Because since we are the salt and the light and the city on the hill, we have, this natural place in the order of things to show forth the glory of God. There's a lot of beautiful things that we do in the liturgy, in particular in the baptismal liturgy, revolving especially light and salt, especially in the extraordinary form, just kind of pointing to the fact that whenever we were baptized, we were given this mission to be the light and the salt of the world. But what does it mean to live that out? I think one of the fundamental ways that we tend to get it wrong in living this out is feeling like we have to be a certain way. I don't know everything that goes into the anti-bullying movement, for instance. The basic principle of not bullying people, I think, is great. I don't know if there's anything beyond that that's problematic or whatever else, just like any other movement. But I know for myself, I grew up in a context where I was picked on for being a nerd. Can you believe it? I'm a nerd? Anyway. But I was picked on for those kinds of things, and it left me with this impression that being a nerd was not a good thing. And so somehow me being me was not a good thing, that I needed to be something else in order to be liked or approachable or to relate to people. And that's a problem, because as we go through life, we pick up those kinds of tendencies that we feel like we have to be something different than who we are. Yes, we should uproot things like sin or bad behaviors or whatever from our life, because I would say that authentically those are not who we are. We are created in the image and likeness of God. We have been baptized to become children of God. And so anything dealing with sin is foreign to our nature. But whenever we are taught to think less of ourselves because of the things that we enjoy or the way that we go about in life, it's really a tragedy. Because the best way that you can be salt and light and a city on a hill for the world is by being authentically yourself. You are a specific instance of the Holy Spirit's great love for you. And you can show that in a way that other people can't. With your gifts and talents, with your frustrations and joys, with everything it is that is in you. This is how we should authentically evangelize. Because if I stood up here and tried to be anything other than myself, it would fail even more miserably than it already fails. But I have to be me. This is the vehicle through which you will encounter the Holy Spirit that lives in me. And if I try to fake it in any other way, it feels fake. We know people who are putting on a show, ultimately putting up a mask to try to hide the pain and the hurt from life because they don't want to be picked on, because they want to be told that they're good and wonderful. The fact of the matter is, some people will encounter us and we will not be somebody's cup of tea, and that's okay. We will encounter people in the world where we will not click, and that's fine. We don't have to be friends with everybody. But if we're authentically able to be ourselves, then we will show forth the Holy Spirit in a way that nobody else can, and to certain people and segments of the population that nobody else can reach, because we're weird in our own special way. So ultimately, I just want to say, if you have those fears of trying to impress people, that's not from the Holy Spirit. That comes from pain. Be authentically who you are. And then from there, we can start talking about how to change the world and show forth the light of Christ.